Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 450. This show is brought to you by Primary Arms, VZ Grips, and TacPack. In this show, we'll be discussing Rusty's shotgun review, a Zulu 450, takedown 22s, lights, and something that sounds like it came out of a Mack Bolan novel. Tony will get the joke. As you may know, we showcase guns, gear, and anything else you may be looking for. We do our best to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm Chad Wallace, and with me tonight we have Tony, Rob, Rusty, and Zane showed up. First sponsor up is, Rusty's here, so he can tell us all about VZ Grips.
VZ Grips been manufacturing handgun grips since 2003 with a reputation for quality, consistency, innovation. Top tier manufacturer. Choose VZ Grips. They come in a variety of styles, pattern, colors, and manufactured from proprietary G10 micarta and carbon fiber. Available with varying degree of texture, VZ Grips offers a wide range of grips for different firearms type. Made in the USA, VZ Grips offers you more than just handgun grips. Feature grip of the week is the Beretta 92 Tactical Slants. Check out our grips at vzgrips.com. Coupon code GGR15 gets you 15% off of handgun and rifle grips at vzgrips.com.
Woohoo. I put the 92 slant grips in there because, everybody was talking about 92s. So I was like, hey.
Hey, I tell you, I'm getting the 92, that new 92 out of the optic already. Just cause.
There you go.
Just to piss people off.
Yeah.
They were nice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you like them, that's all I can say.
Go with the red. That black and red, the black red.
Yeah. So, what we did in firearms. Let's see. I was sick, so I did nothing. I'm still kind of sick. I did get some stuff in. In fact, we talked about this a time ago. This is the Primary Arms SLX 4-16 first focal plane. The one that's like $300. So it's not mounted up yet. I mean, it literally just came in yesterday or something. So, it's here. It's pretty cool. And it looks pretty clear looking through it. But yeah, that's pretty amazing for $300. So let's see. I think that I got something from Unique ARs too, but it's somewhere I can't get to. So, we'll do that. That's essentially all I did. So you guys can have the floor.
For me, I did some shooting with my SIG 365. I run some, just got out and practiced with it after playing around with it the other day and working with that Code War concealment holster I have, and then I cleaned it with cleaning supplies I got in the mail the other day, and then I destroyed a good black powder revolver. I don't want to go into it.
Destroyed, huh?
I guess it didn't work, huh?
Tony, you will be getting some parts in the mail like trigger guards, some grips, trigger, hammer.
Wow.
If I get the barrel out, you can have the barrel.
Wow.
But, the takedown rod that goes into the cylinder, I tried to put a little pressure on it with a ball peen hammer and a punch.
You sure you in the Marine Corps? Oh, you're redneck. Same thing.
Tennessee redneck, buddy. It just had an arbor press and it shattered.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it didn't work out too well. So I just took it apart. I got the screws and stuff all soaking in there, and I'm gonna clean them up. I'm gonna put them in a baggie. And
wow. That sucks, bro.
Hey, but all the parts come out clean, though. I mean, that modern Spartan system stuff cleaned everything up real nice. Just what I needed to come apart didn't come out.
Yeah, because, it really worked, but I was...
It really worked, but... Gotcha. Rob?
See, I've been gone for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago, I was up in North Carolina with the family, did a little bit of hunting, did a little bit of shooting, did a little bit of range time, some aviation stuff. Got some deer meat in my fridge. Man, I made me a nice deer chili, and my house smells like deer chili because I've had it simmering all day. And then this past week, that little storm out there screwed me up last week, so I was deployed for that. But other than that, not a whole lot.
Sweet. And I guess we can move on to Zane, but by the sounds of it, he's only been shooting lionfish or something.
Yeah, I've been rather busy down here. Like Rob said, we had that storm and we had the other storm, Hurricane Ian, in my area. And I don't think I've been on in almost 2 months, and I have been completely swamped with hurricane and fire department stuff. And the few chances I do get away, I've been going scuba diving lately. So yeah, shooting lionfish, but not really shooting guns.
Okay. Whatever works, but you showed up today. So, and Tony just released a podcast not too long ago. So I see the connection finally.
Yeah.
Well, good things come in threes, I'm told. What do bad things come in?
Every day.
Your mom.
That's messed up. Messed up.
So Tony, what'd you do?
Dude, I had an amazing... Jesus, that was vicious. I apologize. Had a great time, man. We had the diversity shoot on Marine Corps birthday. So we were in Easton, PA, and a couple of guys said they were coming out, which I was like, great. Well, while I was speaking, we had Slab Guns come out. And also we had Joe from Shooting Gallery New England come out. And they surprised me. Joe told me he was coming, but Slab Guns didn't. And that was cool. And then Christy showed up from the Heller Foundation, from the Dick Heller Foundation. She showed up with a birthday cake for the Marine Corps. So we had cake and pizza, and it was cool. And my friend Glenn Papp showed up, and he had a suppressed Sten submachine gun that he brought with him, and a suppressed SIG MCX. So we had some really cool guns. We laid down some fire, and that was awesome. We had some new people come out to the diversity shoot, and it was great. That was Thursday. Friday, I participated in the police shooting competition, PCC? Police combat competition, and we shot that. And I didn't have, I'm running low on 9. So if anybody wants to donate 9 or donate money to buy 9, that'll be great. Go to diversityshoot.com. But I had plenty of 40. So I loaded up the high point, put it outside the waistband holster, and competed using my high point. That was interesting. There's a reason it's been put away for a really long time compared to every other gun I have.
Because it's a high point.
It's hot. It's not ergonomic. It has a heavy slide. It's all that. I still competed. I probably beat a few people, and I haven't shot that gun in years. And but it was still fun. I had a great time. And then our friend Eric showed up, and he had a CZ Checkmate 9mm. That's like $3,700 if you don't know. And we'd already cleaned up, and we only had one target left. So from 25 yards, we took turns shooting this brand new pistol. It shot really tight groups. Like the difference between shooting a high point and shooting a checkmate is ridiculous. It's like a whole nother level. And then Saturday I competed in the Marine Corps Heritage Shoot up in Cherry Ridge Range, which is ANJRPC's range, which is New Jersey's Second Amendment NRA chapter. And I competed using a M16A4 clone with iron sights that I built that was actually a real Marine Corps DMR. And the company, well, let's say the CEO is in jail, the CFO is in jail, and because they violated ITAR. So I was able to buy pretty much an M16A4 minus the lower receiver. So stock, grip, everything else. And I shot and actually won my category of iron sights at 100 yards. So that was pretty cool. So that's what I did, a lot of gun stuff.
Sweet. So, Bandwidth sponsors our buddies over at Patriot Patch Co. We got their patch of the month. You got all these, cool patches and stuff that look like stickers and, super cool. You got a turkey with a grenade, and you got the American Defense ones this month. Definitely check out their stuff. They probably have a lot of stuff you can buy for Christmas for your, friends, if you have any. We don't, so we don't have to worry about buying stuff. You can always get t-shirts at FRN site, or you can click the merch tab on the firearmsinsider.tv. Also, while you're over there, check out the discount affiliate stuff, because there's lots of discounts on and affiliate links. Some of them are pretty darn good, and because of Black Friday sales, they might still work with that too, which will give you even better deals. Should we make Rob read the disclaimer, or do we just skip it?
Yeah. Get on the struggle bus.
We pre-recorded him last week, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows.
Woohoo. So, our main topic tonight is sponsored by our friends over at Primary Arms. And Primary Arms seeks to provide the best shopping experience for everything firearms. With over 13,000 products from your favorite brands, Primary Arms carries a complete selection of rifles, handguns, firearm parts, and shooting gear. Every order comes with a commitment to superior service, fast shipping, and an expert support team. Primary Arms product of the week this week is the Expo Arms 10.5-inch handguard. It's made in America. It's pretty simple AR handguard. So if you're looking for that, you can head on over to frn.deal/PA, or just click the link in the show notes, of course. You can use the code FRN at Primary Arms, and the latest deal is if you buy one of the GLX 1-6 24 first focal plane scopes, you get a free mount with it. You can check firearmsradio.net/PA for the most current deal with the FRN code if you would like. So, main topic tonight is thanks to Rusty. It's his review of the Savage Stevens M320 Security. So take it away, Rusty.
All right. So I bought this gun a couple years ago, and I was trying to find a topic for it, and I just, I was trying to be quirky. So a topic of this gun is to be Chinese, it has a nice rack. And so I'll go through this real quick. So don't laugh. I've been holding off on this review for several years. So I've been holding off on this review for several years now for numerous reasons. First, this is a budget shotgun, and it falls in the same category as a lot of other shotguns in the market. Second, I was afraid no one would be interested in reading it. Third was the big C that was affecting everyone. But here it is. Let me dive into the model I have. The Stevens Savage M320 shotguns. What can I say about it? It's based on the old proven Winchester 1300 action, which has a rotating boat to cycle the shells. The particular one I have has a pistol grip, cross boat safety, 18.5-inch barrel with a hooded front fiber optic sight, ghost ring rear sight. The receiver has a 1913 Picatinny rail with for mounting optics. The model I bought come with flat dark earth stock, hard rubber butt pad. Already has sling attachments on the front cap and the rear of the stock. Right in front of the forend are access points that are on both sides. They're 90 degrees apart. They are 1913 rails as well for mounting your favorite accessories to it. It has a 5-round shell capacity for 2 3/4, but it also has a capacity to hold 3 inches as well. The shotgun weighs in around about 6 pounds with an overall length of 32 1/4 inches. The trigger pull is a bit heavy on mine, tripping the gauge around about 7 pounds. The forearm on the 320 is a little longer than most tactical shotguns or home defense shotguns. Most of the ones I've encountered are about 8 to 9 inches. This one on the Stevens is roughly about 11 inches in length. Does it make a big difference? No, not really. Just added weight. But hey, it has a nice rack. So let's get to the shooting of the Chinese beauty with the big rack. I mounted a Swamp Fox Liberator green dot on top of it just because I had one lying around and figured why not. It was a great choice when I went to the range. Remember, this is a cylinder bore choke, which means it's not constricted like most hunting shotguns, nor does it have interchangeable choke tubes. This shotgun was made for close work. With that being said, when I was at my local Wally World, they were selling ammo on the cheap. Where I lost my point. And they had other federal slugs on sale for $2.50 a box. So I bought all they had. There were 200 rounds of 3-inch slugs and about 300 rounds of the Rio 2 3/4-inch buckshot, and more than I could count of mixed birdshot. I was at the range. I sighted in at 50 yards on paper with the slugs, and I was getting great results. The best group I got was like a 1 3/4 inch at 50 yards. I was pretty happy with that. We did have some 12-inch steels set up at 100 yards, and I could ring those every time with the slugs. After about an hour of brutal shooting of the slugs, I noticed I was closing my eyes and developing a flinch. So I stopped shooting the 3-inch slugs and went to something a bit lighter and did what I could mimic a pattern of about 40 yards with the buckshot. I was impressed with the spread that it kept that distance. I ran out of paper, so I spent the rest of my time shooting plastic bottles, bricks, logs, whatever I could find on the junk section of the range. So how did it shoot? Just like a shotgun should. It went bang. It destroyed everything that was in front of it. It ate the shells. It ate any of the shells I put in it. But here it is. There had to be one. I didn't tell you this in the initial description, but it has a pistol grip. I absolutely hate pistol grips on shotguns now. My wrist felt like I punched a brick wall over and over. The direct impact into the web of my hand was terrible. The pistol grip made it so I could not get the slide release switch easily. If you had gloves on, it was a no-go. Now, the gun, for what it is, ran fine. It is smooth. The trigger's a little heavy. The forearm is too long if you want to put shell card on the side of it. It will cover up the part of the receiver when the slide is back. You might be able to use a 4-car shell holder, but not the one of the longer ones. The form is a little weird in design. It is not what I'm used to, but I'm not going to call it negative, just different. It seems to be big on the front and flows down to an undercut of some sort in the rear. This might be designed for smaller shooters. Overall, this is a good shotgun for home defense, maybe a slug gun for deer hunting or varmint control. Throw it in the toolbox of your truck, under the seat, strap it to the rack of your four-wheeler or to the back of your side-by-side. I feel for the money of $199 when I bought mine. You can't go wrong. I've used mine on several bear and hog hunts, dropped it in the water while getting in and out of my canoe. It does ride on my back of my saddle from time to time while riding horses. If I skin it up, scratch it, take paint off of it, I won't cry if it was like a Beretta shotgun. Is the shotgun for you? Well, what is your budget? What's your intended use? Do you use a shotgun a lot? Me personally, I'm not a big shotgun hunter. I break one out a few times a year when I go on specialized hunts, so I really don't own expensive shotguns. I own guns that I run. I'm not saying this is better than my 870s or my 835 or my 1100, 500, 590s or my Ithaca 37 or what have you. I do own a bunch of shotguns. They are tools to me. The 520, the M320 is a tool. It's just a cheaper tool that's been cloned from a really good tool that has been modified. So would I stake my life on it? Yes, I have, and I will continue. Every time I go into the woods to hunt big game, hogs, black bears, and I have the shotgun, I do trust my life with it. This is just my thought on how, you take it how you want. I have over 1,000 rounds of high brass shells to cheap birdshot and haven't had a malfunction yet. Now, it is smooth, but when I rack it, I run it like I'm trying to drive the forearm off of it. Just because something is made in another country and is budget doesn't mean it's junk. You do have to do your research and see for yourself. Don't go off one man's opinion and think that it's gospel. I'm just here to tell you how I feel about how the shotgun worked for me. One thing I didn't put in there, this gun will run the mini shells. It will load up and run a bunch of those mini shells. I can't remember how many I put in there, but I think it was like 9, maybe. And I really like that because I bought a bunch of those mini slugs. And I was really impressed because I run probably about 30 of them through there, and they fed great. So the Firearms 8 key points, target market, anyone looking for a budget home defense shotgun, value consumer, features, benefits of shotgun. It's got good ergonomics, good price, well-balanced, reliable, barrel length 18.5 inches, barrel material chrome alloy steel, magazine passage 5s, ambidextrous, length of pulls 13.5 inches, overall length 39 inches, receivers, finish matte, receivers, material light alloy. Stock is synthetic. Stock is pistol grip. Weight 7.2 pounds. Other finishes, aesthetics, it's field grade. They have field grade models, hunting models, with and without pistol grip. Different finishes, also available in 20 gauge. What are others saying? A shotgun that can do it all at a price that nearly anyone can afford. The Stevens 320 pump shotgun was designed for versatility and affordability. The Stevens 320 pump Security 12 shotgun has everything a Leo needs to hit the streets, and it comes at an affordable price. There are several links on YouTube and the American Rifleman. I got mine for $199. The MSRP is $311. You can find them all over the place for about $240 to $199.
Yeah, when I looked, when I was posting the review, even Primary Arms has them. A few of the different models, so.
Yeah. They just vary on what model you're getting. The Pros, great price. It's well made. There's no sharp edges. It's got a good fit and finish. The cons, the trigger pull's heavy, lack of aftermarket accessories. The forearm, in my opinion, is a little too long. The pistol grip is horrible. The slide release, I just couldn't get to it with that pistol grip there. I'm sure I could take a Dremel tool and cut that, water that pistol grip out so I could get to it. But all in all, it's a good shotgun, so I give it an overall score of 7.
See, I've got 2 of them. I've got 2 of them, and they're on sale. I got them on sale over at Tanner's in PA for $125 each. They go on sale every Christmas around that price, or at least it used to be. Who knows what it is now? But that place moves heavy volume, so their prices are really low. So I got a 20 gauge and a 12. The 20 gauge has been used for 4 years, introducing people to shooting shotguns at Cherry Ridge Range because I volunteer for Family Day there. And I go through cases of ammo in a day, and the thing's never hiccuped and never been cleaned. So
I've got 1,000 rounds through mine, and I've never wiped it down since I took it out of the box.
Yep, nothing. Also, they didn't have a stupid long forend because I was looking at yours, and they're regular shotguns. I don't like the pistol grips on a shotgun because they put all the shock into your wrist and hand, and that's just ridiculous. But the length of pull was a little bit long on my 12 gauge. So I contacted them because this is what you don't know. And like you said, the accessories thing was the problem. I got lucky. I called them up. I told them I was using it for a home defense shotgun, but the length of pull was kind of long. Do they sell youth model stocks, youth size stocks, or shorties? And they said no. I got lucky because they said they had a return of a youth stock, and they sent it to me. So I installed that. So I have a shorter, like 13 inch length of pull. It's really cool, man. These things run. They just run. do you depend your life on them? I don't know. I introduce people to firearms, and I want them to have a good experience, and I brought those out, and they truly were more fun to shoot than the Remington. What is the Remington semi-automatic? 887?
1187.
1187.
1187. Okay, yeah, 1187. They had Remington semi-automatic 1187s there. I shot that, and I was like, "Yep, this garbage stays in the rack," and I'm using my pump action. So, yeah, I agree with you. They're good guns.
I have taken mine on. I went on a specialized hunt at a Air Force base last year, and my daughter, she carried her Mossberg 500, and I took this with me, and I've got 835 Ultra Mags, and I could have took an Ithaca or whatever. I've got different shotguns. I just grabbed this one, and my red dot cost more than my green dot cost more than the shotgun did, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this, and I've taken it on bear hunts and hog hunts, and if I beat it up, so what, you know, and I've taken it out in the canoe when I went on, you know, deer hunts and stuff like that, and I've dropped it in the water or whatever, just wiped it off, and it still runs, and I'm happy with it, you know, for $199. So what? It runs. It's good.
That's always good to know. Yeah, when I originally read the review, I was like, that seems like a pretty good deal still.
Yeah. I mean, I would recommend to anybody.
One of the beauties of a shotgun is that it's one of the most affordable platforms you can get into for home defense and be set up well. Right? If you want a carbine for home defense, you can't really get set up at $500 for a formidable, you know, gun. With this, Rusty and Tony, you're both saying you got good reliability out of them. I don't have any personal experience with them, but tack on another $80 for a light and another $50 for a shell card. You can get into something that's very formidable for defending your family with. I'm with you, Rusty. I despise a pistol grip on a shotgun.
Oh, yeah, they're terrible.
They're terrible. I've had two. I had a pistol grip only, and I've had a pistol grip with a stock. And they're just, I like a clinch length of pull. You know, like what you're talking about, Tony, a youth model, or in the case of mine, I took a skill saw to the end, and now it's 12 inches, and you know, whatever. It's is what it is. There's a time and a place for pistol grip shotguns, and I understand their use case. But
where's that?
The average person.
Where is that? No, and I'm not even being a jerk. Like I
want to know.
Nah, so they're
a breacher.
They're really good. They're really good for blowing hinges off doors.
Okay.
That's one thing they're really good for, because you can do that from a compressed position, from behind the door jamb, from a position of safety. They're good for that. They are good for super, super discreet carry when you need super high power stuff, but you have to have a shorty at that point. You need to have like a 10-inch, and you can conceal that thing just as easy as a pistol. But that's, again, these are extremely niche case scenarios. Like the average 99.8% of people listening don't need it. And if you do need it, you know who you are, and you know you need it. So I'm not telling you anything you don't know.
And they probably already have one.
Other than those two very small examples, I see no reason for a pistol grip on a shotgun.
Yeah, I think the pistol grip is what caused me to develop the flinch while I was shooting the slugs out of it, because it was hurting my hands so bad. I was like, damn it, I'm fixing to touch the trigger off again.
Probably.
Yeah, well, and it does. And I get why they became popular, because people that are shooting M4s are like, hey, it's the same, but the recoil impulse, everything's different. The way you mount the gun is different. Just it's not It's not an M4. If you want an M4, get an M4. It's a different weapon system. It's shot differently. It's mounted differently. And again, I'm the guy who doesn't even really like shotguns that much, but it's a completely different weapon system. And yeah, I still have one in the safe that has a pistol grip with a stock, and it hasn't been shot in like 7 years because it's
Pistol
not
grip
fun. Yeah, it does.
Let me run this
everything white.
too.
It's like a pistol. It puts all the recoil right in the web of your hand, except for it's a 12 gauge, not a 9mm.
Yeah, real bad idea. I also have a inexpensive Turkish shotgun. I told you I picked it up for $99 when they were doing a closeout. They still make these, but they have a long fore end on them now and look kind of goofy, and has like a little big pick rail on the end. Utter garbage looking thing. But comparing it to the Stevens is a better feel. Stevens also has, what do you call it, parkerization, kind of? It's not shiny at all, but it's solid. Dude, if you want to pick up like a few shotguns for home safety, or, you know what I mean, a few, that's one way to handle it. Because, yeah, you can buy a couple of Mossberg 590s, or you can buy like 4 Stevens.
Yeah.
And excuse my ignorance here, but what's the Stevens modeled after?
Winchester.
Yeah.
Winchester 1300.
1300.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was the Winchester or the Remington.
Yeah.
And so there's probably a Winchester 4N that would be replaceable on it. That has less, slide over to the end. But yeah, I've never shot a Stevens personally, but I would probably take a Stevens over a. Are we still making post Freedom Group Remington jokes?
They're not back yet, dude. They're not back yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say, because I'd take one over that.
Hey,
because if you look at the one good thing about it, if you look at the top of the shotgun right there, right below the barrel nut, you'll see it's got the Picatinny rail right there. And it's a lot of the tactical shotguns don't have it, or the home defense shotguns where you can mount your light. And I think I've actually is my light visible in that one? I actually have a light on mine. Yeah, I've got a light on mine, and I just got the push button tail cap on it. It's a cheap light, Smith & Wesson light, but it works. It's just, $30 light for a cheap shotgun. I wasn't going to go buy, anything expensive to throw in there, but it brightens the hallway up when I need it, for a shotgun, just something I can bounce it off the wall and, throw a 3-inch pattern down the hallway with it if I need to.
yeah.
And
I like a light on a shotgun. I like a light on every gun.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And it works out well if I'm walking through the woods, because this light's not real bright, as in I can walk through the woods with this light, and I'm not like lighting up the whole woods when I'm going in the middle of the night with it. So
yeah, that's
it works
good.
dual purpose.
So thanks for that.
I like the brightest light possible, but hey.
Yeah. Well, we have more on lights, but thanks, Rusty, for that review. That was the Savage Stevens 320 Security. They have one exactly like it that doesn't have a pistol grip. I don't remember what the name of it is. So, you can get what everybody hates about it. So we're into the product spotlight and discussion. First up, because it's episode 450, is the Bushmaster Bravo Zulu 450. MSRP is $1299.95. They actually came out with this model 6-8 months ago or so. I was kind of just sitting on it in case I couldn't find anything else for episode 450. And of course, it's in 450 Bushmaster. Imagine that. It's basically their AR thumper, basically free float rail, their DM2S 2-stage trigger, which I did a review on. I actually like the trigger. It's a pretty good 2-stage trigger. It's using their Snake Charmer muzzle brake, which is kind of special for that size caliber. it's got a different pistol grip. It's not an A2. They're running. They call it Thrill Furniture. I think it's their brand. But yeah, it's, kind of out there. It's another big caliber. It's running a carbine linked gas system with a 1 in 24 twist rate, 16-inch barrel. Of course, it weighs 6.5 pounds basically without a magazine. It's running a salt bath nitride MPI bolt carrier group. Comes with a 5-round stainless steel magazine. Also, the muzzle's threaded 11/16 by 24. And that pretty much sums it up. I mean, if you look at it's a decent looking AR, especially if you're looking for something in 450 Bushmaster. I don't think the price is terrible on it. And it's the new Bushmaster, so it's not the old Bushmaster or the older Bushmaster. So it's made in USA, probably in Nevada where they're located now. But you guys got anything on it, or?
I run the original Bushmaster many moons ago when they come out. And I like the Bushmaster. I don't know anything about the new ones. I read about them. I think it'd be a good gun for those guys. I know why they run the 5-round magazine. It's for the guys in the northern states so they can hunt with it.
Right, and it's a straight wall case, so.
It's a straight wall case. And I think these magazines, there was some discussion whether these magazines were dimpled or if they had the magazine had the spring with the plate in there where they couldn't take it out or take the dimple out or whatever to put more rounds, like 7 rounds or whatever in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's like a 20-round mag, so it might hold like 7.
Yeah, I guess, that's a big case. But, all the reviews I read were, everybody seemed to like it. But, again, who knows who was given what and is paid to do what with it. But, I mean, it's for the price. If you like Bushmasters, you like big calibers, here you go. Here's your hog and deer gun. I mean, and if you're up close and personal with elk or a moose, black bear, here's your gun. That's all I got on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with you guys. Look, the name Bushmaster is great and all, except you had Bushmaster the first one that had a good name and reputation. Bushmaster the second one that killed that name and reputation.
Wait, who killed that? Who killed that name?
Well, you know what I mean. They killed that name.
Freedom.
Yeah. Freedom's Remington's Freedom something. Yeah.
So they killed that name and reputation. Now you're on the 3rd generation of that company. So what do I say? I say, buyer beware. This is early. I know companies have to sell their stuff, but understand that they haven't established themselves as making ARs yet. I forgot what the company name was. It Franklin Armory?
No.
Yeah, they have they're separate, but but they like.
So again, remember, Franklin Armory was making a fin stabilized freaking birdie launcher a couple years ago. Wasn't that him with the thing with no rifling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Around.
So my whole thing is they were making quirky stuff. They've not established themselves, and for the money for Bushmaster for this with these, maybe I'd check somebody else out until they establish themselves. There's no reason for me to be beta tester for this company's ARs at this point, and I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm just going, why would I go with you and not anybody else who makes a 450?
So, kind of, I don't want to derail the conversation, but Tony brings up a good point, and it really hit me a couple weeks ago because I've, like I was talking to you guys offline, I've gotten into some new hobbies lately, and because of what I've done in the gun community and stuff that I've done with you guys and other people, I'm very skeptical of anything that's on the internet. So when I'm brand new into a hobby that I know nothing about, I'm reading magazines, I'm reading Facebook posts, I'm watching YouTube, and I'm like, ooh, but I know from my experience in the gun world that none of this can really be trusted all that well. And I'm like, man, I need to find a good somebody I can trust and just tell me what's. So if you're new to the gun world, just understand that because the people on Facebook or on YouTube or hell, even us, don't even trust us. Like
that's why in my review I put, do not take my word as gospel.
Yeah. Like, man, like I was, saying offline, I just recently got into scuba diving and I'm watching YouTube and I'm reading magazines but I'm like, man, I still don't know what's good and what's not good because just based on my experience in the gun community, there's a ton of good information. There's a lot more bad information.
And you know how you can tell if somebody...
it's hard to sort through it.
You can tell if somebody's into scuba diving because they never shut up about scuba diving.
Wow. Man.
That's kind of like being a firefighter.
That was more brutal than your mama's statement.
Zane's just getting ripped on tonight.
I'm telling you. I come back for one show, and it's like, oh.
We just treat you like normal. You know that.
I'm telling you.
So.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Something else. Why do we have a two-stage trigger on here? What?
Because it's their trigger. That's why.
Okay.
I mean, that's the only reason I can tell. And it's better than a mil-spec trigger.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah, that's my guess.
I've bought two-stage triggers. I think I still have them in the drawer in there after I've run them for a while. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm with you. So that was the Bushmaster Bravo Zulu 450. Next up is why Zane's here. Streamlights introduced the new ProTac 2.0. MSRP on this is $195, which, MSRP of a Streamlight is never exactly what you end up paying. But like I said, this is their new 2000 lumen handheld light. They say it doesn't sacrifice runtime, but it's powered by a new proprietary SLB50 battery pack. Charges inside or outside the light using a USB-C cord. So that's pretty much how it is. It still features their 10-tap programming, so you can high strobe, low, high only, low, medium, high, blah, blah, blah. High, it's 2000 lumens. They say a 262 meter beam and it runs 2.5 hours. The medium setting is 570 lumens, 142 meter and runs 4.5 hours. The low is 100 lumens, 60 meter beam throw and runs 25 hours. Of course, the strobe for signaling and disorientation runs 4 hours, 25 minutes. It's IP67 rated, so it's dust tight and waterproof to 2 meters. It's also 2 meter impact resistance tested. We're running 6000 series aluminum to make it. It's got an anti-roll head, so it prevents the light from rolling away. Basically, it's got some flat spots on it, is what it looked like. The light length is 6.1 inches. It weighs 8.25 ounces with the battery pack. Includes everything you need. Of course, candela on it is 17,300. And of course, right now, all you get is black. So you can't have FDE or pretty colors like pink or something that Zane would want. But I'm glad that they came out with a new one since, what they have before, the HL or something that was 1200 lumens.
HLX.
Yeah, HLX, which I have in my bag right
what's
here.
in my pocket right now is an HLX.
And I thought you were just happy to see me.
No, not even a little bit. Yeah, so part of me is like disappointed it's a new light or new battery.
That's what, I know.
But at the same time, we've almost reached the point of where our light technology is being limited by the batteries.
Right, by an 18650, basically.
Yeah. So I'll save my battery thing until I see a little more. 2000 lumens is better than the 1,000 or 1,200 the HLX is. Not a ton more candela. I believe the HLX is about 1670, something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And so you're not getting much. You're getting a little bit brighter, but you're not getting much more of a hot spot. Price is similar. I think this is going to be a little more expensive.
A little more expensive.
However, you can charge this light without taking the battery out. With the HLX, you cannot. You have to remove the battery, which I have like 8 batteries for mine. Whatever. I'll probably pick one up, honestly. And, because I do like stream lights. I've had good luck with most of them. I do have a broken one over here on my shelf that I need to send back to him. But, I wish they could have done a little more with the candela, especially if it's new battery technology. I feel like you could get this lumen and this candela out of the 18650. Like if you're going to come out with a new battery because the battery was limiting you, I want to see some really impressive numbers. And I just don't feel like these numbers are as impressive as I feel like they should be for new battery technology. And I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on said things, but,
I hear you. The clip doesn't look all that great, though. I don't know.
Well, the standard clip on the HLX is garbage. That's why I put a therm switch back on.
Yeah. So this switch is garbage.
I carry handheld.
I took mine right off immediately. It's not just no.
The clips that come on them are terrible. They either get mounted on a gun or they get a therm switch back and go in the pocket. Or Raven makes a O-ring kind of attachment thing also.
I enjoy Streamlight. I've ordered them for years. Streamlight actually gave me some of the lights that I still use that I'm going to actually write up. Only because I beat the snot out of them. They've actually worked. And they're in PA. They're right across the border here from Jersey. So I'm like, hey, check them out, see what's up. But yeah, the candela is not really that impressive on this, especially if it's going to be about $80 more than the HLX. And I'm like, bro, you're not getting that much more. You're getting the lumen, but really, when you're at 1,000, but you didn't jack up the candela, another 1,000 is fine, but really, what's up? I'm blinding you at 1,000 already.
What is this?
And I wouldn't really complain if they came out with this and they were using the same battery. And this was the update, like, hey, this is our updated light. You're going to sacrifice 30 minutes of run time, but it's brighter, a little more content. But if your thing is, hey, look, we got this new battery technology. Nah, I mean, I want to see 2,500 lumens and 25,000 candela, or
now we're talking.
You obviously, I'm assuming they put a lot of time and money into the R&D and developing this battery. Well, I don't know if they developed it, but somebody did. And they put the time into making it work with their new stuff. Like, I want to see really impressive numbers. Again, it is a better on paper light than the HLX. I just don't know if it's worth the hype. Or
what is the shelf? What is the shelf life of one of these lights when they're fully charged up? Say like your old light you have. So you charge it up, you stick it in your pocket, and you don't use it until you need it. What is the shelf life of the battery?
I have no idea because I use mine every day.
Mine every day.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Just a curious question. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea either. I mean, heck, I don't use mine every day, but it gets used quite a bit, and it's like I hardly ever have to charge the battery or change it out. So.
Yeah, I don't. Unless I do something crazy and actually click it on and leave it running in my pocket, which you can do with a stream light without setting your pants on fire. Unlike certain lights, that right away because your pants on fire, pantalones al fuego.
man, what are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know.
They make knives now too, remember?
No, I swap a fresh battery of mine about once a week and then put the other battery on a charger. That's kind of where I'm at with it. But like I said, I have probably 8 or 9 18650s that live on a battery bank over there because I have a bunch of lights that use them.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
I don't know. I don't hate the light by any means. I think it's great, but I'm not super impressed with, hey, we got this brand new battery technology and look how awesome the new light is because of it.
Right.
It's underwhelming.
Yeah, I got you. Which and a Streamlight kind of, it seems like sometimes their lights are underwhelming, but they're reliable, inexpensive compared to some of their competitors.
100%. 100%.
You know,
Dude,
so
I think Streamlight's the best value to light ratio. Like, it's not the best light out there, nor is it the cheapest light out there. But for the money you pay for the light, it's really hard to beat. So I don't want to be too hard on them, but I think this is just kind of meh for me.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And also remember, Streamlight didn't donate money to Dianne Feinstein's campaign.
That is a true statement.
And they did donate stuff to Tony.
And they did donate some for stuff to the Second is for Everyone about 5 years ago.
Hey.
And my whole thing is understand what the frig you're dealing with and make it your priority. I'm not telling you to cancel anybody, but just understand who you're giving your money to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I have Streamlight in my pocket. I got a Streamlight on a shotgun, a Streamlight on 2 rifles, and a Streamlight on a pistol.
See, there you go.
I love Streamlights, but this one is just, I don't know.
Yep. So that was the Streamlight ProTac 2.0 handheld light. Next up, Savage has brought out their A22 in a takedown. And I don't know how this always works when Zane shows up. There's a 22 in the show notes. I think he does it on purpose. He waits. He's like, oh, I showed up for the light. Oh, wait, there's a 22. He's a closet 22 person. So
I love it.
So MSR.
Oh, you said closet 22 person.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So, well, we all know he's not in the closet anymore after everything else. So MSRP on this thing is $479. Of course, it's
I hate you guys.
22 long rifle. I told you we treat you the same no matter if you're here every time or once every 6 months. So, of course, this is like polymer stocked takedown rifle. It's running an 18-inch barrel. It's got low profile sights on it. High luster barrel finish. Yeah. And magazine capacity is 10 rounds. It's right hand eject, basically. So it's not like you can convert it for left-handed use, but it's a semi-auto 22. So 1 16 twist barrel. Basically, it's got a cool little, besides the takedown feature, which is pretty awesome, you can store stuff in the pistol grip, I guess. It's not a true pistol grip, but it's made so you can store stuff in there. And then the top of the stock opens up so you can store some more of the rotary magazines that are in there. I think it holds 3, maybe? I can't remember which. I don't know why.
Like 2.
Yeah, I think the picture had 2 in it, but I think it had I think there was room for another one. And I can't remember if they're like 1022 magazine copies.
Looks like there's room for 3 magazines in the stock.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
They're kind of like 1022 copies, I think.
But they will not interchange.
Yeah,
I've got one. I've got one of these.
Okay.
It's not the takedown, but it is. I got an A22.
Okay. So that's good. It looks like it does come with a pick rail on top to mount a red dot or whatever you want. You know, I just don't know about it. I'm not big into takedowns, and I'm like, proprietary magazines. it's just, I like it, but I don't like it. We'll have to ask Rusty how his non-takedown shoots.
I took mine to an Appleseed shoot a few years ago, and there was a bunch of guys there with their custom 1022s. I was the only person to shoot rifleman the first day.
Nice.
And I had a scope on mine, and mine was a sporter version that come out of the box with the iron sights on it, and I threw a scope on it, sighted in the day before I went and went and shot. And these guys had like Feddersen barrels and, all these other high end barrels and stuff on theirs. And I shot rifleman like within the first 3 hours of being there. And the only complaint I have about it is like you have to really pop the magazine in there because they will fall out. The mag catch on it is not that great. The trigger's a little spongy on them because they have it's supposed to be their adjustable trigger on there.
Accu trigger, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Accu trigger on the 22s are not that great. They are like, you can hear them funk when you pull the trigger on there. They're not that great on the 22. But other than that, it's a great platform. It really is. If you want a good 22 that shoots the lights out, this thing is for you. I mean, I've shot it out to 300. I got a video, I think, on Instagram and Facebook one. I've shot it out to 350 yards and rung steel with it, and it would do it all day, every day. And it's a great gun. I think their picture on their website is ridiculous because this guy's got the pick rail on top of it, and it's covering the rear sights up, and he's sighted down on top of it. So
well,
that's what I'm looking at.
Supposedly it's a U channel one, so you can look through it and see the sights, but whatever. And basically this is just the takedown version, so if you're backpacking and it's not like you need it quickly.
It's not a standard Ruger 1022 magazine. That kind of like kills it for me because I've got a bunch of Ruger 1022 magazines.
Yeah, see,
yeah.
The person that went with me had a Ruger 1022, and I've got probably 24 Ruger 1022 mags, and I was like, man, I wish they would work, but they're different. They're totally different mags. They look the same, kind of, sort of, but they're not. They're totally different magazines.
That sucks.
Now, as somebody that's bought, Savage products, because the Stevens is a Savage brand, I'm like, why would I buy this instead of a 1022 when I got all the aftermarket support you ever want on a gun that has over 10 million units sold since 1964? Why would I want your Wish.com version of a 1022?
Well, if you want the Wish.com version of the 1022, you buy the Winchester. That takes 1020.
Wow, that's bad.
That takes 1022, but it takes 10.
The Winchester takes the 22 mags.
Yeah.
The 1022 mags.
So I have no idea what Savage was thinking with this. We're not using the most popular rotary magazine. Now, how do you develop your own rotary magazine and not have it be interchangeable with the most common?
And why?
Daisy did it back in the day. I don't know if y'all remember the Daisy 22 rifles. I can't remember. I've got one in the gun safe in there.
Mm-hmm.
Daisy and Ruger got into a lawsuit about it. I have a Daisy 22 rifle in there with a rotary magazine in there. I have one magazine for it. If you go online to Gunbroker and try to find a magazines, they're $100 for one rotary magazine because Ruger sued them over the magazine.
Yeah, but the patents.
So they cost just as much as the Staccato mag.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was back when the patent was still good, probably.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they came up with this gun, and there is no reason for me to want this over a 1022 that I can build and not even have one Ruger part on it and spend as much as I want. Or I could have this thing from Savage because of name brand loyalty. I don't know.
Yeah,
Savage fanboy.
So that's cool.
I have mine.
Key.
I have my Savage A22 and I have Ruger 1022s. I really, when I go to the woods and shoot squirrels, I take my A22 because I know what it does and I really like it. But I've got tricked out 1022s in there, but I like my A22. It shoots really good. The only thing I don't like about it is the trigger, and that's the only thing you can't change on it because nobody makes the aftermarket trigger. There's no aftermarket parts.
like what Tony said is the key. It really is name brand loyalty.
Yeah,
Like if
Yeah.
Savage came out with a 45 caliber pistol, Savage guys are going to get it, and that's what they're going to carry, because there's a generation of people that are brand loyal. That's who this is marketed towards. Is it marketed towards me? Obviously not, because I don't own a 22. I think 22s are stupid. But, and it's obviously not marketed to anybody here because, you know, if I were going to own a 22, it would be a Ruger 1022.
Exactly. Or if you, unless you wanted a bolt action.
And if I wanted a bolt action,
I don't know what I'd get either.
CZ.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen,
Good
I don't
choice.
know why I would want a bolt action 22, because that sounds stupid. But
I have numerous of them for my kids, like the youth model Savages and stuff, and they're beautiful.
I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
Well, you got like built-in kids.
That's true.
You don't know that. I want my attorney.
I got half a dozen kids, so I got a bunch of 22s.
Well,
And your pull-out game is weak.
First of all, sir, no.
No, we're not talking about you. I was talking about Rusty. His pull-out game is weak. You can't have babies the way you do that. Yeah, but listen, I'll leave everybody alone who has the guys who have the A22 because they wanted a 22. Look, leave them alone. They can shoot their Stevens shotguns, they can shoot their A22s, and they can shoot their stance pistol from Savage and enjoy themselves.
I wonder if Rusty has a stance pistol. That's probably where he went to go grab it.
No, I'm letting my dog in. He'll kiss my ass.
He's comparing his stance pistol to his Mossberg pistol.
Okay, so that's the Savage.
And hey, I can goof on them all he wants, and they still beat Rob Pincus to the friggin' market.
Ooh, that's so true. So true.
Rob's gonna be the last company on earth that comes out with a 9mm subcompact.
Single stack.
Revolutionary. A 10-round subcompact 9mm. It's like
it could be a 6-rounder.
Oh, dude, that would have been great if you'd have came out with it, I don't know, before the P365 in 2017.
Yeah.
And Rob's a friend of mine, and I've been goofing on him about this for 5 years.
Well, I think everybody else does too.
Well,
so
he finally got a holster company today.
yeah, to make a holster for it. So
Getting closer.
okay, so that was the Savage A22 takedown. Next up is the new Smith & Wesson Equalizer. You know, MSRP on this is $599, which I think is pretty decent since it's like $6 cheaper than the Easy. Which I just kind of hit me. I was like, wait a second, it's like $6 cheaper. I just don't get what you guys are doing here. But this is their new subcompact Easy, basically. But you know, it's a little different. It still has the grip safety. It does have a new design slide, 9mm, cuts on the front, back, has an optics plate. So they at least got all of that right. It's running, you know, from what I read, it's a somewhat decent trigger. It comes with 3 magazines, actually. The 10-rounder flush fit, the 13 and 15-rounder. It's an 18-degree grip angle. It's a pick rail on the front for lights. It does not have a thumb safety. It's got a loaded chamber indicator if you really care about that. It does have the easy-to-rack slide. Length is 6.75 inches. It's still the same width as the standard Easy at 1.04 inches, but it's shorter, so it's 4.5 inches tall. It comes with white dot sights, as well as the adapter plate. Like I said, it's stainless armor coat finish. It's a 3.675 inch barrel, weighs 22.9 ounces, and I looked into it because they don't mention it. They just say it's an adapter plate for optics. It's for the shield footprint, but it is a modified shield footprint, so it works with the HoloSun 507, not 507, 407, whichever one is their small one that goes on the shield footprint, but is slightly different. So those are the sights. Somebody will probably make adapter plates for it so you can mount other stuff, but for now, those are the sights, the optics that you can use on it. You know, I kind of like this gun. It appeals to me more than the standard Easy. I mean, granted, you don't get bless you. You don't get a full grip on it, or some people won't. So that could make racking the slide a little bit harder by itself. But, you know, hey, it is what it is because it is a subcompact pistol. They call it a micro compact, but I don't know.
See, I disagree. I think the appeal of the original Easy design was the fact that it was large enough to control with the controls on the gun able to be manipulated in an easier fashion. I think when you shrink it down to this, you're losing sight of what the original intent of the gun was.
I get you, and that might be why they called it the Equalizer, not the Easy Equalizer or something.
But for this, why wouldn't I go with any number of subcompact? I mean, I don't think I told you guys, but I'm the proud new owner again of a Kel-Tec P3AT, which I owned it 15 years ago.
Oh, the cops got it back to you?
Yeah, I got it back, and I realized how much I hate that gun. I should have let them destroy it. But yeah, why wouldn't I? If I really was super concerned with I need the tiniest gun there is, why wouldn't I go with something like that? I just feel like they kind of lost sight of the original intent of the gun. And listen, I didn't.
Well, they rushed this gun out. I was
never a fan personally of the Easy. I understood what it was for, and I think it's a great design. It's not for me, but it's for a lot of people. I think they lost sight of its intent and its purpose with this, model. But, maybe I'm wrong.
I think they rushed this gun out to equalize out the train wreck of the CS or whatever that damn single stack.
Oh, yeah. The
whatever, not 1011-ish, not 1011-ish compact they put out here a few months ago.
Oh, yeah,
it was a bad move. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, yeah. But, I didn't see any pictures of what it looked like with a 15-round magazine. Does it look like a tactical FN with the 21-round mag at the ass end of it?
What it looks like is a SIG macro, the 365 macro. So when you start putting these different magazine links in, what you go is from a 365 size gun to a 365 XL to a 365 X macro. So that's what the change up is. I kind of agree with Zane when you're talking about you're losing it. I want to see it and get my hands on it. I was looking for it in the gun store, but there wasn't the one I was in Saturday or Friday. So I want to get my hands on the thing and compare it to the macro. But I live in this stupid state. So even the 15-round magazine length mag is going to be 10 rounds. And I mean, if it gives you a thing, I mean, are they competing? Is this one pistol from Smith & Wesson competing with the entire SIG P365 line?
Yeah, I'd have to see it to find out, maybe.
Well, I do like the fact they deleted the thumb safety on it because I don't really see a need for thumb safeties on guns that don't need thumb safeties. Some guns do need them.
This has a grip safety.
Yeah,
the
this
grip
is
safety. But if this is in the same, what am I trying to say here?
No clue.
This is the
same hammer fired style, right?
firing mechanism
Yes.
of the original EZ.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, the grip safety pre-cocked the hammer for you, right? It was part of the firing mechanism.
Yeah.
So I understand that. Whatever. Not a
At
huge
least
fan
they
of
did
grip
it
safeties.
right.
Sure.
So I was watching videos because what I wanted to do was find out pros and cons of the actual EZ from people that run it. A friend of mine, Kellyanne Pigeon, who runs Well Armed Woman, she was making a video about it, and she was talking about how the thumb safety is a detractor to the regular EZ because it's not really needed and people forget to run it. And also gripping the grip safety correctly every time is also a negative. So I don't know if they change any of the design of the grip safety, the angle, or any of that to make it more common. But if not, it is what it is. I think it's a decent gun if it pulls off the things they wanted to pull off. But they have a serious swing and a miss with that CSX. And maybe they're trying to make up for it and get it out at the beginning of the year. Because they have so many people buying guns now into the carry market.
I'd be interested to see what Chris Baker has to say about it over at Lucky Gunner, because he was very fair with the original EZ model guns and spoke fairly favorable of them, and I feel like he's pretty unbiased when it comes to these things. He doesn't appear to be swayed one way or the other by anybody in the industry. And so I can appreciate his reviews on things. So I'd be curious to see if he picks it up and what he has to say about it.
And I also want to compare it to, now again, it's easier to rack, and it's hammer fired, and it's got the pistol grip. So, because now I have shot their Shield Plus. You know what I mean? So, like, where are we at with that? And when we're going to do a little bit longer magazines for the Shield Plus. So you can get those to 15, 17 rounds.
But they're everywhere on the market now, new and used.
And I feel like we're going in circles here, and maybe that's just what we do in the gun industry, but, like, we went from full-size guns to super subcompacts to these new, they're not subcompacts because they have more bullets, but they're subcompact size to now we're making these super guns even bigger. Like what SIG just released their 365 with like a 19 round magazine that's the size of a Glock 17, and I'm over here like, what are we doing?
What you're doing is ending up with a Glock 19 size pistol again. That's the frig you're doing.
With a grip frame that other people can.
Glock 19's the gun you're supposed to carry. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, that's where
all
you're
figured
at.
it out.
What are we doing?
Yep, they figured it out, and the 365 macro is just for people that want that size that have super small hands. So
actually, the 350 it fit my hand better than my Glock 19.
Really?
Yes, it's slightly longer than my Glock 19.
Right.
The pistol grip, and it's thinner.
That's what she said.
Well, a friend of mine contacted me today on Facebook when I posted this on Facebook, and he has the Easy 9, and he said the grip safety was not. Now he's a bigger guy, and he has large hands, and he's like 6'3". He said the grip safety was not a concern. Of course, I'm sure he has big meat hooks like Tony that, I mean, hell, you could put a broom handle on the back of it and he could crush it. But, you know, I mean, at least the grip safety is going the right way. It's not coming from the top down. It's going from the bottom up because you're getting high up in the beaver tail and you're crushing it down. So that is good because usually with the small guns you get up high, so your finger is in, you know, kind of parallel with the edge of the bore axis of the gun. So I think, you know, they did something right there. And, you know, I was just kind of curious about the 15-round magazine, but overall, I mean, if I could find one at the right price, I would probably pick one up. I mean, but I've got the 365, the original 365. So I don't know if I would or not. I'm still trying to find 15-round magazines at a decent price for the SIG. So
yeah, they're all being shipped. And they're all being shipped to Oregon.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. And that's where you come in at with a lot of these things. It's like everything's a great idea, but can I get all the parts for them? Can I get a holster for it?
Yeah.
Does it have aftermarket support? I mean, yeah, it's all great and good that you have this pistol, but you got a 10-round, a 13-round magazine, or just a 10-round mag.
Yeah. Hey, I'm looking for an optic cut slide, and they're $300 for an optic cut slide for the SIG 365. And I was like, hell, I might as well buy another gun.
Yeah, they're on crack. By the way.
Yeah, because the cheapest one is Strike Industries. So I might as well sell it and buy the equalizer and put a couple $100 with it. I mean, that's my fault so far when I've seen this.
No, I got you.
To sell it, put a couple $100, get 3 mags and a gun that's already optic cut. And so I don't have $800 in a gun before I even put an optic on it.
Yep. I got you. So, yeah.
What's the barrel length on this gun again?
It's just under. Yeah, it's like 3/8 of an inch shorter than 4 inches. 3.675 or something. It's some weird length. So 3 3/4 basically.
Yeah, I don't know.
3 11/16.
Yeah, because I was actually looking at it and comparing it to others, and like where are we at with this? Hey. Again, brand loyalty can come in, and if you didn't want to get a P365, you got this. Same side. Hey, it's two. We say it, and we've been saying it. We're living in the golden age of this whole firearms thing. And a lot of times, when you're in the middle of something, you don't realize it. Man, we're telling you.
Until it's gone.
Yeah, you don't realize it until it's gone. Well, we're in the middle of this right now. We have more options than any other time in the firearms industry, dude. I mean, the only time this much cool stuff was really coming at you as a gun owner was pretty much when they changed from percussion caps to cartridges, man.
Dude, 100%. When I started carrying a gun, if you didn't want a 1911, you could get a Glock, this new Smith & Wesson M&P, or this really new XD from Springfield that was super awesome.
Or Beretta 92. Or Beretta 92.
Yeah, you can carry Beretta. But I was in the Marine Corps at the time, and I had plenty of experience with that piece of which I have changed my opinion on post-military.
Of course.
At the time,
you don't have a beat-up piece of overwhelming.
Right, I didn't have one that was cleaned more than it was shot. Anyways. But yeah, so yeah, absolutely. Right now, dude, if you can't find a handgun you like right now, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
because it's there, it exists.
Striker fired subcompacts are made by everybody to the point Savage and Mossberg are making.
That's true. So that was the Smith & Wesson Equalizer, along with a bunch of other stuff. So it's time to talk about TacPack. And TacPack is the monthly subscription box you've been looking for. Every month you will get a monstrous package filled with EDC tactical, survival, and professional grade gear. In the box is at least $90 worth of gear for the low price of $49.95. This gear just isn't crap that Zane found when he was scuba diving. It's top quality stuff from top tier manufacturers like AR parts, knives, flashlights, and cool stickers. This is gear you'll actually use, except maybe the stickers. If you're looking for even more life-changing gear, you can always upgrade to the TacPack Plus box. You can get yours today by going to TacPack.com. Use the coupon code GUNGEAR, and new subscribers will get at least an additional $70 worth of free gear that will ship separately from your first monthly TacPack. They also have super easy cancellation, so if you decide to cancel after you get 1 or 2 or 10, it's super easy. Get all that by going to TacPack.com. Now, we don't have any listener feedback. I'm not going to complain too much about Oregon because, there's these groups going to be nice and fight it in the courts for us.
They're so gonna lose. The state's so gonna lose.
How long has it been since I've been here? We don't have a knife every episode anymore.
Well,
They just missed it.
nah, every other
We
one.
bashed on O-Lot last week so bad.
Yeah.
We had to give them a break.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works. See, and if you're watching the video, I'm gonna hold this map up of who voted for our stupid law, and you can see that the green counties are the ones that voted yes on it, and all the other red ones are the ones that voted no. So you get it's the typical liberal strongholds, namely Portland, that everybody knows about. So yeah, but it'll be shot down in courts. We just gotta wait. So gun sales are through the roof right now. Magazine sales are through the roof.
I see Oregon Gun Works. They were like, we're closed to all online sales right now.
They were closed today. I think it was today, or it might have been yesterday, to restock and do everything because they just couldn't. They couldn't keep up, and there's still a line out the door because there's so many people. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like I went to the gun store just to look. There's like nothing, and I even went to the big box stores, and there's like nothing. It's like, and there's like one. They were out to like 9,000 background checks, and that's each of those people's could be buying more than one gun, and it's just like they're just like trying to make it so that whenever it goes into effect, nobody can buy guns for who knows how long.
Yep.
So, but yeah,
if we're gonna touch on politics here for a second, I gotta
move to Florida.
Brag on Florida.
Okay.
I gotta brag on Florida for a minute. I don't know if the listeners of the show know, but you guys know pretty well. I don't typically vote Republican or Democrat. I tend to vote Libertarian just because that's what I do. But this last round, I actually did vote for our incumbent governor, who is a Republican, and he won by a landslide. And mostly because after Hurricane Ian destroyed a huge section of the West Coast, there was one island that this company came in and was like, hey, we can build a new road to get to the island so you guys can get and start helping people. And the local municipality was like, well, we're going to have to go through all this, that, and the other. And the governor came and was like, nah, just go ahead and build the road. And 5 days later, the road was built.
And that's like a bridge road. It's not.
Yeah.
Because it's
and
like.
I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yep. And he's a good guy. It's Ron DeSantis, in case anybody's wondering. He's probably going to run for president one day. It'll probably be the first mainstream candidate I vote for president. And to bring it all back to the show, he likes guns.
There you go. So, Tony, now you can tell us about all the political stuff that you do at the Second is for Everyone diversity
You
sheets.
see this thing?
It says something on it. Hold on. I see it. It's got all these different brand manufacturers of firearms and stuff on it.
I call it the Wheel of Freedom.
Oh,
A friend of mine makes it. It's made out of wood. It's awesome. It's going to be a rifle item because Daddy needs ammo and money for the trip to Vegas. So that's going to be a raffle item. He makes these things. He can't sell them. So he uses them, gives them to friends for fundraising purposes. And, it has all kinds of Daniel Defense. It's got Colt. It's got SIG. It's got Taurus. It's got Rainier Arms. I mean, that might not be one you want on now from what I just heard. But anyway, it has different companies on it. And it's going to be a raffle item. We're probably going to do it through the website or with it's some way so we can get some funds going to us, and then we'll do a drawing. I also have an A3 stock, a brace, SBA3 brace, and I have a custom knife, and I have some T-shirts. So we're going to be doing some stuff at the end of the year. You get Christmas gifts if you win, and we get to actually go to Vegas and not have to worry about how I'm going to make ends meet or be out there eating ramen. So that's what's going on. November 22nd is the next diversity shoot at the Union Hill Gun Club. What the hell is Rusty doing?
Yeah. I was trying to look up your website.
At the Union Hill Gun Club, and that's what we're doing on November 22nd, my actual birthday, unlike the November 10th, which is Marine Corps birthday. So I'm going to have a great time because I really enjoy doing diversity shoots and introducing people to firearms. So, boom, November 22nd. The one after that, December 19th, that's going to be also in Monroe, New Jersey. This was going to be a recoil range. And our last diversity shoot of the year is December 29th at Gun for Higher Range. So get ready. We're doing the last three, the run up to January 2023, and we're starting it all over again. And I think right now we're going to be in at least one more state and one more range in New Jersey in 2023. And that's going, and this is November. And I'm telling you, we're definitely going to be in another state. And we're definitely going to be in another range.
Now, Tony, are you telling me you're going to be late next week?
Wow, what's happening next week?
Didn't you say on the 22nd? Or is that
why? 22nd next week?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Oh, wow. Well, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Well, I guess I'll be doing it from the parking lot.
Okay, but speaking
Unless it's freezing.
Well, you got a car. But speaking of, next week is our Christmas gift show. So, you guys actually have to work this week. Think of things. I'll send out here in a few days the email to you guys. But yeah, we have a Christmas gift show because then you can buy it all on Black Friday. Hey.
There you go.
So you can go ahead.
I'm on shift next Tuesday, so hopefully I won't be on call. So
you can enter the stuff and we'll just tell everybody what it is.
Yeah. I'm going to try to join in. So
okay. So send questions, comments, or feedback to us at gungearreview@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review somewhere. iTunes is usually a pretty good spot. You can check out all the other great shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.net. Don't forget to visit us at the Firearms Insider at firearmsinsider.tv. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Firearms Insider. And as always, thank you for listening to the largest pound-for-pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Epstein didn't kill himself.